Space Shuttle Discovery. T-minus 60 seconds and counting. We are transferring to orbiter internal power at this time. Discovery is now running off its 3 onboard fuel cells. Coming up on a go for auto sequence start. And we have a go for auto sequence start. Discovery's onboard computers have primary control of all the vehicle's critical functions. T-minus 17 seconds and counting. 15, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, remaining start, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond.
Hey guys, this is me Avidavedi and you are listening me on Extended Reality Developers of India community. So today the guest is very special. He's an astronaut candidate, and he is also a flight surgeon. Without any delay, let's just welcome our guest of the show. So here is Dr. Ashok Narayanamoorthi. Hi sir, can you hear me?
Can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, now you can hear me. And so hi sir.
Everyone.
Welcome on the show. So the show is called XR Podcast, and in this show we usually invite people who are related to extended reality or who are related to game development. But we called you on the show because a lot of us have dreams of making games related to space, and we often think about, since our childhood, we often think about making into the space industry or being an astronaut or researching about the space. So it's every one of us has this sort of childhood dream. So this is why I invited you on the show, and it's very great to have you. So we would like to know you about your experiences, about how you made into the industry and how you are doing right now. So
I was doing my medicine. Then we have to choose our residency path.
Okay.
I always wanted to do something different. So that time, when I was in my school,
Yes,
I
sir.
was always fascinated with astronauts, moon, pilots. So I thought, like, maybe why don't we combine both of them? I started searching for specialties which can support this idea.
Okay.
Then I found out in India, the Indian Air Force is offering a residency program in aerospace medicine. So I thought, like, this is my program. There was a big entrance examination for the program, and there are only 3 seats for the civilians.
Wow.
Luckily, I stood first in the all India entrance. So I got the seat of my
Amazing.
choice.
So that's how you started in aerospace medicine. So what is exactly aerospace medicine, and what is the role of a flight surgeon on a space mission?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just turned off my video, just to conserve the bandwidth.
Okay.
Aerospace medicine is a clinical specialty, primarily dealing with the selection and catering the medical needs for aircrew pilots, astronauts, and it's a kind of extreme medicine. You have to find out which is normal, which is physiological, and which is abnormal. Because a normal person is put in an abnormal scenario, you need to like differentiate what is right and what is wrong when you need to intervene, and you have to keep them in top shape. So it's a kind of an occupational extreme medicine.
Okay. So what are the specific conditions happen to a human body when it's been there in space? So what exactly you look for?
Microgravity is one thing which is very unique to space, and we during launch and re-entry they experience acceleration, vibration, noise, radiation, and
Wow.
these are some short-term effects of factors in against the human body, and long-term effects are innumerable. Like the whole human system is getting involved and affected by the external features. You are in a microgravity environment, hypoxic environment. There is a chance for like solar radiation.
Okay.
So there are several risk factors.
Okay. So we were talking about being an astronaut, and you told us about how you became. So what are the various ways of becoming an astronaut, and what are the physical and educational benchmark for being one?
The physical benchmark is you should be like fit. There are fitness criteria for getting into the similar to that of a pilot.
Okay.
And there are three types of astronauts first, like pilot astronauts, mission specialists, and payload specialists.
Okay.
With commercial astronauts coming into, we don't call them astronauts, commercial spaceflight participants
Okay.
coming into picture, the rules have been a little bit relaxed, but the psychological or the mental condition benchmarks almost remains the same. Um, there are different routes of becoming an astronaut. Medicine is a twisted, long journey to become an astronaut. Usually, you see the pilots, the test pilots, are the primary candidates for astronauts.
Okay.
And specific on the missions, if they require physicist, biologist, or a geography specialist, there have been like several backgrounds of astronauts. In commercial aircrew, if you see a commercial space crew, if you see there are arts and mathematics background personnel. So your background doesn't matter. The main thing is government programs, the benchmark is a minimum of doctorate
Okay.
in some degree, along with the physical and mental standards. Different countries pursue different requirements. If you go in India, they are looking for test pilots at this moment. Usually a country, when it starts its space program, they look for test pilots as their primary candidates for astronauts. And once they get confident and gain positive insight into the missions, slowly they open up for other civilian candidates too. But in commercial space flight, you just need to be fit and you should be appropriate for the mission. If you are a tourist, I think that criteria is like very much relaxed right now, and you just need to be able to pay and withstand those G forces.
You should be a millionaire only.
If you want to go to International Space Station, you should be a multi-billionaire or a billionaire.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let me know about the space suit, because space suit costs a lot of I mean tens of millions of dollars, and it protects the astronaut in several ways. So, why exactly the spacesuit is so expensive, and what is the role of having a spacesuit? So, what exactly it does?
There are two different types of spacesuits. One is intravehicular spacesuit, which you wear inside the space vehicle.
Okay.
This is one especially during launch and re-entry of the spacecraft. The second one is extravehicular spacesuit, which is the most expensive, complicated mechanism. It's a spacecraft by itself.
Yes.
So an intravehicular spacesuit costs like close to like tens of millions of dollars, and an extravehicular even farther. It has to be customized for the person. It protects, it gives you an environment where you can breathe, where there is a facility to hydrate yourself. There are some suits which can help you having the food inside,
Wow.
and if you want to like have an extended mission, then it has mechanisms how do you pee or a potty. Uh, uh, Usually, he is allowed. We are discouraged from using the potty unless otherwise it's really required. It also protects from radiation. It also protects from the vacuum. Um, uh, the intravehicular spacesuit is slightly more comfortable than the extravehicular space.
Okay. So let's discuss about your projects like POSM and Sirius. So what are these projects? Are these research-based projects, and what are the end goal of these projects? Can we know some of that information, which is definitely not classified?
Yeah, I'll go with the non-classified part. Project Sirius is a sister mission of Project Artemis. The US and other spacefaring countries, they are planning to launch people to moon
Okay.
by 2024.
Wow.
So the plan is to put a lunar orbital gateway, like a bus revolving around the moon. And whenever required, they can slingshot to Mars or they can slingshot to moon. It's like a transit point.
Okay.
So the project Sirius is mimicking the exact lunar gateway module in Earth. Uh, so we go into that mission and do the real-time scenarios to understand what is the risk factor and human factors interaction part, so that we can give the protocols to the actual mission. The selection criteria is almost similar to that of the real mission, but the Sirius occurs in Russia. They have scaled mock-up similar to that of orbital gateway, and every mission constitutes six crew inside the mission. The duration depends on the type of mission. It may be 4 month, 8 month, or 12 month. You are isolated completely from outside,
Wow.
and you have a time delay of 8 seconds. You cannot communicate in real time. So there is a time delay of 8 seconds. You have to send a message, wait for 8 seconds. It's even worse in Mars. You have to wait for like 20 minutes to receive a communication. So uh, they have called for candidates throughout the world, and I think the response was from over 50 countries, and they selected 12 final list of candidates. Actually 18 final list of candidates. So the first mission got completed in May of this year, June of this year, and we are the candidates for the upcoming missions. And the final selection process is still going on. Who will be the next crew for the 8 month mission?
Wow.
And I was lucky enough to get selected, and I'm the only citizen in the final list of candidates.
Amazing.
POSM is a commercial space flight group. They are specifically working on noctilucent clouds. These clouds occur in 84,000 feet. So you need to be on a spacecraft to visualize these clouds. This project is being funded by NASA Flight Opportunities Program, and they are looking for commercial space flight participants throughout the world. So we have like 8 classes of scientist astronaut candidates with different backgrounds, almost around 80 people. This is becoming like an Uber. Like if you want someone as a doctor to your mission, they will call you in the mission. So all the
Amazing.
private commercial space flights, like Blue Origin, Virgin Galactic, once they start sending the tourists, so they will have like 6 to 8 seats. So 5 to 7 seats will be the tourists, paying tourists, and the rest of the seats will be for the researchers, doctors, and other biomedical engineers who is required for the mission. So when you are planning for a mission, the crew should be trained at least like several years in advance. So we are training right now as a group, and we are training for different scenarios. There are different levels in Project Person. And once the real mission starts, if they want a person with a specific background, we have the pool of candidates. So one of
Amazing.
them will be assigned for the pool, and then they're ready for the mission.
So they plans years ahead of about the crew that how many people can be go. We just discussed about that space tourism. You need to be a multimillionaire. So what do you think about the industry and what are the competitors in this era of space tourism?
There are different levels of space tourism. One is to go to low Earth orbit. There is an orbital space tourism, and going to space station, then going around planetary bodies.
Wow.
So if you want to go to low Earth orbit, it will be like varying from 20 minutes of microgravity to few hours of microgravity. So you just take off, experience microgravity in the low Earth atmosphere, then return back to Earth. There can be like several missions on a single day. This is low Earth orbital, suborbital spaceflight tourism. But if you're planning for an orbit, it's more expensive than suborbital. It runs into millions. This suborbital spaceflight runs into maybe $250,000. That was the publicly advertised price. I'm not sure like whether it has changed right now. Then if you are planning for an international space station, it runs somewhere around $40 to $50 million. And if you want a shot around the moon, I guess it's around like a few hundred millions of dollars. So
Wow.
it's really expensive proposition.
Amazing. So, how about Virgin Galactic? And they told us that they are going to start some program by 2018. And so, is that program still working? And are they selling the tickets?
I am not an authorized representative of Virgin Galactic, but
Okay.
I will share at a personal capacity what I have learned from the industry. There have been already 2 demo flights in Virgin Galactic. They
Wow.
showed the capability of going to low Earth orbit. There are a total of 6 commercial spaceflight participants right now. I was fortunate to meet one of them in October this year in
Wow.
US, and they were selling the tickets for $250,000, $250,000, and apparently they sold around 600 plus tickets. Their first set of tickets is already sold. So you have to wait for the next set to be released.
That's amazing to
We
hear
can
about. Yeah.
we
Quarter
can
million
see
dollar
some.
tickets, definitely. Yeah. So let's talk about space industry. So there's always a question about that if I'm not, if I can't be specifically an astronaut for some reason, maybe physical conditions, maybe family background or whatever. So if I cannot be an astronaut, what are the other job opportunities which are open for me? What can I do to express my love about the space industry or space research?
Space is a huge industry. Astronauts is just a minuscule part of it. Like a
Yes.
picture, it's like a hero. Like there are only very few heroes available, right? So there are only
Yes.
550 astronauts, 50 plus astronauts are in the whole world, and majority of them are from the United States and Russia.
Wow.
If you see the industry, the space engineering industry is the biggest industry in space, and they are supported by biologists, geologists, astronomers, physicists, mathematicians, statisticians, artists, communicators, educators. So there are a variety of opportunities available in space industry. You just need to have a love in space and select your career path. There are like thousands of opportunities available in space, and
Wow.
it's just opened up, so it's not yet saturated.
It's amazing to hear, because a lot of people feel like I'm not that physically fit, I cannot go in space industry, but there are a lot of options. So that's an amazing thing to know. And let's talk about astronaut training. So we have got a lot of questions from our viewers that what are the exact trainings which is given to astronauts, and people love to know about that.
I'll give you an usual path which is followed by several countries. It may differ from one country to another. Usual
Okay.
thing is they call for publicly to apply for astronauts. The basic qualification will be a STEM degree. Flying experience would be great. If
Okay.
you have, if you even if you don't have, you are still eligible for becoming a mission specialist. Then comes the physical fitness. It is similar to that of what you become as an pilot. There are some concessions available for certain criteria. Then comes your once the application is filled, then it is being scrutinized by several teams. One is scrutinizing your educational background, your medical background. Then, based on those filtered applicants, then they ask them to come for in-person interviews, in-person medical fitness checking. Like they will do several blood investigation, X-rays, MRIs, CTs. They will score through all of your medical records. Then there will be a psychometric testing. Once you clear those, then there will be a physical testing. So at this point, usually they filter it to around few hundreds of candidates.
Wow.
Then there will be a task, how you are behaving in a group, how you are behaving in as an individual. Then the number is brought down to 100. From here on, you are being evaluated every minute. It can be the way you approach people, it can be the way you approach your task. Then the number is brought down to 20. Then there will be a committee who will vote upon who will be the main or the prime candidates and who will be the standby candidates. As of now, there is no gender difference. Both men and women are accepted into the program. This is about the government program. If you see the commercial spaceflight group, the criteria is much relaxed. It's like people, if you are eligible to fly in aeroplane, then I think you are good enough to go in a spacecraft. This is the criteria for tourists. So if there is any individual requirement or medication for the short duration flying, then they will discuss upon it, and there are a panel of doctors and technicians who will clear you for the flight.
Wow, that's amazing to know. We have some videos
So
of
the
your,
commercial,
yeah, we have some videos of your training. So is it the right time to showcase that?
yeah, sure, yep.
Yeah, we are running one of your videos from your training program. So we can definitely see you wearing a spacesuit, and it looks pretty cool. And the other video is, are you in some sort of simulator here in the second video in which you were sitting?
Yeah, that's with my pilot to see whether I'm able to perform the mission.
Okay.
I'm wearing an intravehicular spacesuit. It's pressurized. Once it is pressurized, even simple movements are very difficult. You cannot fall. You have to like really work against the pressure.
Wow.
The resistance is like huge. So you have to relearn, unlearn whatever you have learned in the past and relearn everything so that you can master those techniques. You have to keep on updating your techniques with the pressurized spacesuit. Even walking is slightly difficult, but you have to plan ahead your steps and you have to walk. It's much easier in the actual microgravity because you have to float. The issue is like how to stop your movement. Starting
Wow.
is easy, stopping is slightly difficult.
So
Uh,
the way you are walking in this video, it's really hard to do that because of the pressure inside the suit.
yeah. But once you learn how to do it, it should be much easier and simpler. You have
Wow.
to just practice.
Wow, I had no idea about that, how hard it's going to be to walk in those suits. It's so amazing to see. Thanks for sharing us all this information. This last segment is a rapid fire round for you. Okay, so I'm going to ask you two questions and you have to answer those. And these are multiple choice questions, so I'm going to give you three choices each and you have to select your preferred one. So first is Gravity, Martian, or Interstellar. Which is your favorite movie? So this is sort of a fun segment. So if you have, yeah,
I would say Martian.
Martian. So this was this one more realistic?
Yeah, it's more realistic, and we practiced in Mars-like scenario.
Wow.
Actually, we practiced in the same location where the Martian was shot in
Okay.
US.
So you
So
also
there is
practice at the
a
same location, right?
yeah,
Wow,
yeah. We practiced at the same location
that's
where they
amazing.
shot the film.
So second question is, which one is your favorite agency? NASA, SpaceX, or ISRO?
There is a bias for me. It would be ISRO.
Yeah, exactly. So nice to hear. Last question to you is what is your message to the people, to the generation of which want to come into space industry or want to become an astronaut? So what is your suggestion to them?
The first suggestion to the younger generation is stop looking down to your phone and the electronic gadgets. Start
Exactly.
looking up.
Yes.
Look up. Look up is the main thing I want to share. Connect with people, not via the apps, the real people. And you will know your true potential when you talk to people, when you interact with people. Then you will know what you like and some specific pointers for people who are interested in space. There are so many opportunities available in it. You have to just search for it. In several countries, there are several opportunities. So it doesn't matter whether you are from a science background, technical background, arts background, there is always an opportunity in space.
Yes, that is so true. And this is something similar with in my industry as well. I say to everyone that if you come from any background, if you are a good writer, you can write correct script for games. If you are a very good artist, you can create 3D models and something like that. And extended reality is also which is something for everyone. And even for physicists and even for people who are from science background, because we do require a lot more precise physics in there in the gaming and the simulations. So sir, thanks for appearing on the show, and it's an honor and privilege to have you on the show live.
Thanks Avi for bringing me into the show. I always wanted to share my views to the rest of the world. It's always hard for me to find time in connecting with people with my work and trainings. So it was really a nice opportunity to meet you virtually. So I hope we can meet everyone in person in some other occasion.
Definitely, sir.
And
I
I
would
wish
love to.
everyone,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I wish everyone the very best, and have a nice evening, and wish you all a very good, happy, and wonderful New Year, and hope all your wishes come true in the upcoming year.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day. So Ashok Narayanamoorthi is an astronaut and he is a space medicine specialist. So you can definitely see a lot. He just told us about a lot of potential into the space industry. No matter from which background you are, you can definitely find something for yourself in space. And he gave us advice like, you don't look down on your screens, look up. There's a lot big industry going up there. So and with that, let's end the show here and have a great time.